Is this the beginning of the end for BTS as we know them? The K-pop universe has been rocked to its core by explosive revelations that have just surfaced from trusted sources within South Korea's entertainment industry. Kim Seokjin, better known by his stage name Jin, has reportedly erupted in unprecedented anger after discovering that Jeon Jungkook, BTS's golden maknae, suddenly followed him to Japan without any prior notice or permission. Why would Jin, known for his patience and wisdom, lose control in such a dramatic fashion? The incident, which occurred in late June 2025, has sent shockwaves through the ARMY fanbase and international entertainment media. Sources close to big hit music have confirmed that the situation within the legendary group is far from the harmonious image they've maintained in public. But wait, there's something far more shocking than just a simple disagreement between members. Are you ready to hear the dark secrets that have been hidden from the public eye? According to exclusive reports gathered from multiple reliable sources, this conflict isn't merely about communication issues, but involves something far more complex and threatening to BTS's future as a group. The explosive timeline that shook the industry. The drama began when Jin, currently pursuing solo activities after completing his mandatory military service, departed for Japan for a series of promotional activities and photo shoots for his new projects. What should have been a smooth professional trip suddenly transformed into a nightmare when Jungkook, without informing management or fellow members, decided to follow Jin to Japan. Jungkook's unilateral decision has reportedly left Jin feeling deeply violated and enraged. Inside sources from Big Hit Music reveal that Jin felt his privacy and personal space had been invaded by Jungkook's actions, which he considered unprofessional and immature. Jin Hyung was absolutely livid. He felt like his boundaries had been completely disrespected, an anonymous source close to the group disclosed. This wasn't just about Jungkook showing up unannounced. It was about a pattern of behavior that has been building up for months. The situation escalated when Jin confronted Jungkook at his hotel in Tokyo, leading to what witnesses described as a heated exchange that lasted for over 2 hours. Hotel staff reported hearing raised voices and what appeared to be items being thrown, though both parties' representatives have declined to comment on these specific allegations. The hidden tensions that finally exploded. What makes this incident particularly shocking is that it appears to be the culmination of months of underlying tension between the two members. Industry insiders suggest that the relationship between Jin and Jungkook has been strained since Jin's return from military service, with disagreements over creative direction, individual career paths, and group dynamics. People think BTS is this perfect family, but like any family, they have their issues, revealed a former Big Hit employee who requested anonymity. Jin has been trying to establish himself as a solo artist while still being committed to the group, but Jungkook's actions have been undermining that balance. The source further explained that Jungkook's decision to follow Jin to Japan wasn't spontaneous, but appears to have been planned, raising questions about his motivations and mental state. Jungkook booked his flight just hours after Jin's departure became public knowledge. This wasn't a coincidence, it was deliberate. The Japan incident. What really happened according to eyewitness accounts and leaked information from hotel staff? The confrontation between Jin and Jungkook at the luxury Tokyo hotel, where Jin was staying, was intense and deeply personal. The incident reportedly began when Jin returned to his hotel room after a day of scheduled activities, only to find Jungkook waiting in the lobby. Jin's face went completely white when he saw Jungkook, described a hotel employee who witnessed the initial encounter. You could see the anger building up in his eyes. He didn't say anything at first, just grabbed Jungkook by the arm and pulled him toward the elevator. What followed was a private confrontation that has been described by those who overheard parts of it as the most intense argument they've ever witnessed between BTS members. The argument reportedly covered not just Jungkook's unexpected appearance, but deeper issues about respect, boundaries, and the future of their relationship both as bandmates and as individuals. Jin was shouting about how Jungkook had no right to invade his personal space and professional commitments, another source revealed. He kept saying that Jungkook needed to grow up and learn to respect boundaries, especially now that they're all adults pursuing individual careers. The shocking truth behind Jungkook's actions. Perhaps the most disturbing aspect of this entire situation is the revelation of Jungkook's apparent motivations for following Jin to Japan. Multiple sources suggest that Jungkook has been experiencing significant emotional distress related to the group's evolving dynamics and his own identity outside of BTS. Jungkook has been struggling with the changes in the group dynamic since Jin returned from military service, explained a music industry analyst who has worked closely with big hit music. He's been feeling displaced and uncertain about his role, not just in BTS but in his own life. The analyst further suggested that Jungkook's actions might be symptomatic of a larger psychological issue. Following someone to another country without permission isn't normal behavior. It suggests a level of dependency or attachment that could be concerning for someone his age. Friends close to Jungkook have reportedly expressed concern about his mental health and emotional stability in recent months. "He's been different lately," shared someone who claimed to be close to the youngest BTS member. "More clingy, more needy for attention and validation. It's like he's afraid of being left behind." Big Hit Music's crisis management nightmare. The situation has put Big Hit Music in an incredibly difficult position, with the company scrambling to contain the fallout and protect both artists' reputations. Emergency meetings have been called, and crisis management teams have been working around the clock to prevent further escalation. "This is Big Hit's worst nightmare," admitted a music industry executive familiar with the situation. BTS is their golden goose, and any hint of internal conflict could potentially damage their brand worth billions of dollars. The company has reportedly hired additional security personnel and psychological counselors to help manage the situation. There are also unconfirmed reports that the company is considering separating Jin and Jungkook's schedules indefinitely to prevent further incidents. "They're treating this like a major crisis because it is one," the executive continued. "The global impact of BTS means that any internal drama doesn't just affect Korea. It affects markets worldwide." The Army's divided response. The revelation of this conflict has split the BTS fanbase dramatically, with armies taking sides and engaging in heated debates across social media platforms. Some fans have expressed support for Jin, arguing that his boundaries should be respected and that Jungkook's behavior was inappropriate. "Jin has every right to be angry," posted one fan on Twitter. "He's trying to build his solo career and deserves privacy and respect. Jungkook needs to learn that they're not teenagers anymore." However, other fans have rallied behind Jungkook, suggesting that his actions might be motivated by genuine concern for Jin or fear of the group drifting apart. "Maybe Jungkook was just worried about Jin and wanted to make sure he was okay," argued another fan. "We don't know the full story." The division among fans has been so intense that several fan sites have temporarily shut down their comment sections to prevent further toxicity. "The fandom is eating itself alive over this," observed a K-pop journalist who has covered BTS for years. "It's unprecedented to see armies so divided." Industry experts weigh in. The incident has prompted numerous industry experts and psychologists to offer their perspectives on the situation. Dr. Sarah Kim, a psychologist specializing in celebrity mental health, suggests that the pressures of fame and the unique dynamics of K-pop groups can create unhealthy attachment patterns. When you have young people who have essentially grown up together under intense scrutiny and pressure, it's not uncommon for unhealthy dependencies to develop, Dr. Kim explained. What appears to be happening with Jungkook could be a manifestation of separation anxiety or fear of abandonment. Music industry veteran Lee Dong-wook, who has worked with numerous K-pop groups, offers a different perspective. "This kind of conflict is actually more common than people realize. The pressure of maintaining a perfect image means that most of these incidents are kept private. The fact that this one has become public suggests it's more serious than usual. The potential impact of this conflict extends far beyond personal relationships." BTS's brand value is estimated at over $5 billion, with their influence reaching into fashion, tourism, and cultural diplomacy. Any threat to the group's unity could have significant financial repercussions. BTS isn't just a band. They're a brand, a cultural phenomenon, and a major economic force, explained entertainment business analyst Park Min-jun. If this conflict leads to a permanent rift or worse, a group breakup, the financial losses could be staggering. Stock prices for HYB Corporation, Big Hit Music's parent company, have already shown volatility following the initial reports of the conflict. Investors are closely monitoring the situation, and some analysts have suggested that the company needs to address the situation publicly to maintain confidence. The ripple effect on other members. While the primary conflict appears to be between Jin and Jungkook, sources suggest that other BTS members are also being affected by the situation. RM, as the group's leader, has reportedly been trying to mediate between the two, while other members are struggling to maintain their own schedules and commitments amid the chaos. The whole group is walking on eggshells, revealed a source close to the band. Everyone is trying to figure out how to handle this without making things worse. It's creating stress for all of them. There are also reports that some members are considering individual counseling to help cope with the situation. They're all adults with their own careers and lives, but they're also bonded in ways that most people can't understand, the source continued. When two members have a conflict this serious, it affects everyone. The broader context of K-pop evolution. This incident is occurring at a time when the K-pop industry is undergoing significant changes, with many established groups facing challenges as members pursue solo careers or complete military service. The BTS situation is being watched closely as a potential indicator of how other groups might handle similar transitions. BTS has always been seen as the gold standard for how K-pop groups should operate, noted cultural critic Kim Yeon-hee. If they can't navigate this transition successfully, it raises questions about the sustainability of the current K-pop model. The incident also highlights the unique pressures faced by K-pop idols, who are expected to maintain perfect public images while dealing with the same personal and professional challenges as any other young adults. The pressure to appear perfect all the time is inhuman, Dr. Kim observed. It's no wonder that cracks eventually appear. Legal and contractual implications. The situation has also raised questions about the legal and contractual obligations of BTS members, particularly regarding their individual activities and group commitments.